Welcome to Eurovision Kiki. We're three Americans who have fallen in love with Eurovision. I'm Doug.
I'm Steven.
I'm Katie, and here on Eurovision Kiki, we're bringing you the best information about the Eurovision Song Contest.
We'll bring you the music, history, traditions,
and all the tea currently surrounding the world of Eurovision.
Thank you for joining us on another Eurovision Kiki. Today, we have a very special guest with us who represented Iceland in 2010's Eurovision. We saw her once again in 2024's Eurovision. So, welcome, Hera Björk. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome to the Kiki.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. That's the name of the show, Kiki?
Yes. We are the Eurovision Kiki. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good because we have an amazing place in Iceland that's called Kiki. It's been our a gay go-to phenomenal, pub/dance club for years. So
oh, that's amazing!
I love that.
we had
no idea. We have to go now.
You have to.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great to hear. So,
I mean, I even have like a booth there, and my gin and tonics just like whoops arrive, and I hit the dance floor. I sit there for hours, talk to my peeps, and just love it. I haven't been there though now for a few months, so I need to get my Kiki going.
Get your Kiki going. Share with your friends that now you know about our Kiki too.
Yeah. I will.
I'm adding that to the list when I get to Iceland. So, well, again, thank you so much for being here. And, let's just kick it off by, asking you, tell us a little bit about what the road to Eurovision looked like for 2024. Did they call you up and say, we need you, girl? Or what did that look like?
Well, it was a little bit like that. I mean, I was just in my painting outfit on my way to, we just recently bought a new house in the suburbs of Reykjavik in Iceland. It was like October last year. So we were on our way there, going to do a lot of paint job. So we were just like very focused, with the truck full of shit to to put on the walls and get our things going. Phone calls, and I answer, and then it's the Eurovision team, the artist directors this year, along with a songwriter. So they invite me like, okay, here we have a song. It's written for you, with you in mind. And I was just like, what? I do not have time for this. And I was like, oh no, but I mean, I'm studying law at the university here. I'm doing this, makeover on this house. I'm planning for my Christmas concerts, and like in between, I'm working as a real estate agent, and I'm studying, and I had a lot of things going. So I was just like, no, not on my agenda. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, I mean, I was like, send me the song. I'll listen and I'll give you an answer like in a minute. I will know immediately if this is something that I will, would like to put my my full attention to, because I know how this is. It takes all of your time, your full attention, yours and your family, everyone around you, your friends, everyone, your work colleagues, everyone needs to, in a way, pitch in, because you check out in a way into the Eurovision bubble. And I knew that, of course, by experience. So I was just like, okay, this needs to be one hell of a song. And then they sent it to me. I listened in the car, and I was just like, oh, fuck, it's a good song.
Yeah.
We here at the Kiki, we here at the Kiki have a saying. We like to say it's a bop. We're like, fuck yeah, this is a bop.
It is a bop. And I was like, dang it, and looked at my husband, and he looked at me like, honey, you're gonna regret not taking this on. And I'm just like,
yeah.
So I called them and like, okay, I'm in. And they were just like,
Oh my gosh.
you are? I'm like, yes, I can feel it. And then the circus started.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like the lion tamer, like not knowing how to swing the thing, you know. So I was just, yeah, it was from that day on, my life got very intense. And I just tried to remember why I took it on, reminding myself every day why I'm in Eurovision, what Eurovision is for me, because Eurovision and my values, in a way, go together hand in hand. So I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stand with my, powerhouse girl Eurovision, because for me it's been a platform of projecting peace and equality, giving the minority voices a voice in a way. I've watched so many amazing artists like grow out of being just maybe a person with a message, growing into being a huge like echo of, I don't know, it's just been so many moments of beauty that I've witnessed throughout these decades that I've been associated with Eurovision. So I just needed to remind me over and over again of these moments, echo them to my family and friends, let them know that I'm getting way more positive feedbacks than negative, but it's only the negative ones that are getting like some limelight. But the positive ones are like, I would say 95%. And then there's just 5% of very ugly, very misled, passionate anger and, fear,
Trying to
maybe.
see through that noise of negativity.
Yeah. It's yeah, but it was for me. Very many people thought like this must have been a hell ride, but for me personally, it wasn't, because I got so many beautiful messages and so many amazing hugs and beautiful whispers in my ear when people were hugging me, and I needed to get those to my team, tell them, we're getting this, so amazing positive energy, but they are only seeing the negativity, and also my family. So I need to send them, like, take a how do you say, a screenshot, send them, look, just to get them like, okay, like my children, like mom is not just getting the hate. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm getting much more love than the hate, but the hate is loud.
I feel like we saw you being so gracious, so just upbeat and positive throughout the Eurovision contest. Beyond, we love it. So, where would you say
Thank
that
you.
positivity comes from in your life?
I think it comes from just my belief of what I'm doing is right. I'm putting my energy in the right direction in a way. I feel I can say, like, I feel my superpower when I stand on stage and I just use my voice. Either people hear me, they see me, my voice echoes something to them. It's not me. It's like this, I don't know, it's the force of music, I would say. And I've never like been like in the gotten like a, how do you say, a hateful response to me standing there. It's more that they disagree to that I'm there, because they wanted so much Iceland to stand for something else. And I mean, I get it. I get that many people wanted that, but I really honestly don't think that Eurovision is meant to be used as a political tool. neither than like the Olympics are not to be used as such either, or any cultural or sports event should be. So I thought like, no, I'm a grown up. I can take this. I hear the fear. It's a little bit like, I'm a mom. I can see when my children are like in their drama tantrums. And I'm just like, okay, let's all just calm down and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
So,
Would you say you've always had that kind of energy and that confidence to say like, no, let's separate this out. Let's focus on the main thing and, keep that at the forefront?
yeah. That's just I feel it in every like cell in my body. I think that's the way towards the right path, towards peace, towards conversation, towards empathy. I feel that standing there, I was just like exercising my empathy muscles even more. And that's what I feel that we all need to do. We all need to bring out more empathy for each other, wherever we live, wherever we are struggling with in life, because we can feel it, we can sense the vibe in like around the whole world, that there is this fear of losing the grip on what we believe in a way, because the voices of extreme are so loud, and I can sense that people are starting to doubt their own true beliefs, and it's really, it's like, wow, to see it. And I'm not sure that people really see it, but I sense it. I think we all do.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
I would say, while Doug and I were at Eurovision, we saw the shift. And for us, having been there in person for the first time, it was not necessarily the experience that we thought we were going to get, being that there was so much of a tense feeling. But what I will say is this: though you and I briefly met at a beer garden in the Eurovision Village, the light and that empathy that you just described transcended, and I felt it. And just that brief interaction.
But
that
was
we
definitely
had,
there was definitely a lot of empathy and love at the beer garden.
There was. and I'll tell you this, that quick hug that you and I had, you shared some of that, and I felt some of that energy sort of come into me, and it provided me with a light and a sense of positive energy that I needed, because we were going into rehearsal night that evening for semifinal 2, and it definitely helped us bring a little bit more positivity into the evening and enjoy the experience, and really just enjoy everybody on that stage for what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, that's my phone.
Oh no, don't worry, don't apologize.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, I really felt it too. I remember this moment at the Eurovision Village, and it was that, like, the Eurovision Village was for me like, I felt it there, like, it should be so much, because we're used to more crowds, more joy, more, just like more love. And but when I walked into this little beer garden there, and I was just like, here it is, here it is. And and then we had this very funny, hilarious repeat of my song. It was
I just remember you getting up at one point and you're like, am I living in deja vu right now? What is happening?
I mean, it was funny, like when it came, like when the first time it replayed, and I was just like, haha, somebody, yeah, you're funny. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this again. Woo, I feel it again. And then the third time, I was just like, okay, this is getting awkward. And then the fourth time, I was like, no.
Could they at least have thrown in a je ne sais quoi or something?
Come on, mix it up.
Like, I have more songs.
Yeah.
No, it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, I agree. So, being that we are American based, I have a question for you. Just when you sort of think about how Eurovision is now becoming a little bit more of a worldwide phenomenon, what do you hope to see Eurovision continue to grow as far as like popularity in the United States? Do you hope to see more exposure to their song contest and the competition?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to, because for me, in terms of how do you say, as a platform for smaller minority groups, Eurovision has been so supportive of that through the last decades, and I think the world needs that a little bit more. I mean, I've been a little bit worried with the decrease of like gay rights in the US, which we get, like the news we get is like, oh no, and like that this can't be happening, because in Iceland we've been, I mean, we are been for many years, like we allow the marriage, and we just it's in a way just recognized as everything else. Yeah. And for me, it saddens me so deeply to see, not only in the US, but in other countries, in Europe as well. So for me, if Eurovision gets a bigger platform worldwide, that means that people around the world that think they stand alone will see that they do not stand alone. And that there is a large, community out there that wants to support, that wants, things to go in the right direction for everyone. So I think this is what Eurovision can do. It has been doing it, but we need to tread mildly and carefully now, because for me, if we allow the war politics to creep up, that's not going to end well for anyone. And I think we need to be loud and proud and just scream love in a way, like belt it out. And the Eurovision stage is amazing for belting in glittery clothes with the dancers, everything you need,
As we've seen.
As we've seen, old, young, queer, everyone is there, so.
I'm gonna make a shameless plug to my friends Brian and Patrick, who I recently just showed your performance to, and they loved the fringe. They loved the jumpsuit.
Who doesn't love a fringe? Oh,
I know.
Yes.
I know. It was I loved it. I mean, the fabric in this piece was just amazing. It was heavy. I was just like,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I've grown some muscles.
Holding your arms up with all that fringe hanging down.
And my thighs getting me up those stairs. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
No, it's like 7 kilos. So that's an add-on. But it like felt so beautiful. It was so heavy and gorgeous. Not the most comfy jumpsuit I've worn. I'm wearing a jumpsuit right now. I love those. But this was not the most comfy, but definitely the most glam.
Yeah.
You were up there living your life.
I mean, stunning. 10 out of 10 on the fashion.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl.
Well, I was going to just kind of expanding upon that American viewership presence.
Yeah.
Are you ever surprised by people who you meet that have listened to your music from far and wide?
And no, the honest answer is no, because I think, I used to be a little girl from afar in Iceland, which was like far away from Europe at that point in my life, like back in the 19 and and no, I think it's the joy, it's the happiness, it's the power. There is something intense, and it's just the vibration, the high vibration of love, I would say. And this is it's a universal language. I think the aliens are about to join. I think so.
It could happen. We don't know.
Yeah.
It will happen. I hear they're exquisite.
Yeah.
I hear they wear jumpsuits.
Oh, metallic ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so as we are going into the 2025 Eurovision season, does Hera have any involvement, or what's gonna happen in for Iceland 2025? Are you gonna be playing a part? Will we see you in any way, shape, or form next year?
I honestly do not know. They are still discussing, or what's going to happen here, because this was such a, I don't know, uncomfortable experience, I think is the word, for everyone. Both those in favor of Eurovision going strong and me going representing, and those who didn't want that. So we need to come to some sort of conclusion here. We need to have the good old conversation by the family table, in a way. But if it will be like if there will be like semifinals and finals and everything in Iceland, I assume that I'll be there in some sort. Like as the winner from last year, usually that's a tradition. But I don't think. I mean, I will keep on supporting Eurovision and Eurovision Nation, because that's dear to me and I believe in it. But I don't think that I will be participating. That's for sure. Okay. Unless no one else wants to go, then I'll go again then.
Okay.
or maybe that next song just happens to fall in your lap again.
Yeah.
Well, that I mean, the reason really needs to be, and the support needs to be there, because in a way, Iceland was in a way, and I heard this, the whispers where the birds are like whispering in your ears. Nobody says it out loud really, but I can, because I heard it, is that, the drama that Iceland brought this year, in a way, just like, oh, the last place is theirs. Yay. And I knew that, I felt that. That was just like, because we were bringing such drama, and the how do you say, the news from Iceland were all on the negative side, and none of the positive voices were heard. So I think we need to sort this out, and I will never go again. I can say that. I will never go again without the support of my people. That is, this was a lonely job, but I had an amazing team around me. I had my true beliefs and values, my family, and that's because I could do it, and because I also didn't want to let down the loud or we probably call them the silent majority that voted for me. So
right.
I didn't want to let those people down, and I didn't want to let also the children down, that are just like, Eurovision is like Christmas for them. And in a way, we took that away from them this year. That was sad. So there's a lot to learn from this, a lot to learn. But the big is like, I'm okay. Last place, fine. I can take it. Never tried it before. I do recommend. It is a good flavor, because it gives you a new perspective on things, like, okay, this is how it feels like. And it's actually, it is a quite it's a quiet, comfy place.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit there and like evaluate, and nobody's knocking on your door.
Yeah. Well, and you got the day off the next day. You got the rest of the week off to go and kind of relax and hang out with the fans.
Yeah, I did. That was fun. I had some gigs left to some performances left after my semifinal. So I was busy up until the final. Oh, then I partied my ass off in Euroclub. Had the best of nights. So
good.
Yeah, it was good.
That's amazing. Well, so you do. I know that you've got a pretty busy schedule slated out for the rest of the year, as well as leading into spring. I know you've got your Christmas series coming up. You've got some concerts coming up in spring. I know that there's also been talks about you potentially touring in Australia. Are the United States ever going to be on your docket as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course. If the people are there, I'll be there. I mean, it doesn't need to be like a huge. I'm not talking thousands. I'm not talking hundreds. I only need like 20, 30, 50 people, and then we're good.
All right, Steven, start organizing now.
Okay.
Be there. You got at least 3 of us who will be there.
You've got at least 3 of us, plus our spouses. You've got our husband, all 3 of our husbands, and our groups. So
parents, grandparents,
all of them. Yes,
they will all be there.
And we'll cook for you too. So don't worry.
Thank you. I would love that. I would love. But actually, I've been in the US a few times. I was with a few Eurovision legends. At some Midsummer Nights festival in New York. I think it was like 2011, 12, 13, something like that. It was great. It was with Sarah Dawn Finer, the amazing Swedish diva, with Alcatraz and it was fantastic. Full house, beautiful club, Manhattan,
that
baby.
sounds like a party I want to be at.
We're in Colorado and Seattle. Not as glamorous as New York, but
I would love to go. That's the West Coast, right? No,
Yep. We're on the West
end.
You
have great outdoors, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
We have beautiful mountains, fantastic scenery. So
I've performed also. I've been in LA and in San Francisco. I did something that they called. It was such fun. Oh my God! It was a little bit like Priscilla in a way. We were all in a small minivan touring the US. That was in 2011 or 12. That was called the Mr. Gay World USA trip.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was so good. And we went to a lot of cities on the West and the East Coast. And I always had, usually in some fantastic gay clubs. And I was getting ready with the drag queens.
Yeah, you can't go wrong in San Francisco or LA.
No.
Especially in gay culture and the gay scenes there.
There's no drama in this diva because the drag queens, they would dramatize me the hell out of my ass. I was just like, I need to pump up the drama here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I had so much fun. I should have had like a camera on my head because
all right,
conversations
next time.
in there. Yeah, next time I will.
All right. Well, Hera, where can our fans, our listeners here in the United States, where can they find you on the social media platforms if they want to get to know a little bit more about you?
Yeah, well, I am. My music is on Spotify under Hera Björk, and I'm on Facebook, Hera Björk, Instagram, Hera Björk. Very simple. It's
excellent. Yeah. And we'll be sure to include those in the information and our details on Spotify and YouTube. So thank you so much. Any parting words to our fans and our listeners before we sign off?
Well, I think I'm going to leave you with this. I think it's just stay true to yourself and work that empathy muscle, people. Work that empathy muscle. I think that's going to bring us peace.
Couldn't agree more. And with that, Hera, thank you so much for joining the Kiki with us today.
Thank you so much.
To our fans and to our listeners. As always, be sure to check us out on Spotify as well as YouTube on the Eurovision Kiki podcast channel. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at Eurovision Kiki. And if you have questions, feel free to email us at eurovisionkiki@gmail.com. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all at our next Kiki.
Love from Iceland.